Peace, everybody. This is Thomas Amal with another edition of Conversation Corner. Today is a special day for those of you that celebrate Father's Day. That is today, June the 16th, Father's Day. Wow. I've been a father for 26 years. I'm a father of three, 26, 20, and 12. And it has been one of the greatest experiences that I've ever had. And to have my first son at 18 years old and be in college, and just to be able to grow into manhood and play a role, which is the excellent part of being a father, is you get to play a role in developing and nurturing people. Because that's what they do. They eventually become adults, children from birth. You get to play a role in that. And the importance of a father is so, and I can't say it anymore. It is so great. It is, the magnitude cannot be measured of the importance of a father in a child's life from beginning until, because you nurture that child in a sense of mentally. You are able to impart so many things on that particular child, female or male. And I just been blessed to have three sons, which made it a little bit easier. Don't get me wrong. I'm not sure. I've heard a number of stories about raising daughters. But as far as having sons, because see, men make things happen. And playing a role in helping develop a man, a young child, into a man is so important, because you have to learn. You have to learn who you are first. You have to learn who that God is within you to be able to impart it and instill it, to get that child, that young man, to recognize that God within himself. And I just cannot thank and feel blessed to have the opportunity to go through this process. But at the same time, and I don't want to put a negative tint into it, but I've always had this issue and belief that a father, particularly a black father, is the most unappreciated job that there is. I felt that way because you get so many arrows thrown at you, because sometimes, or so many women have had negative things that have gone on in their world with their situations, where they impart that and embed that in the child, and the child comes up feeling that way, be it a daughter or a son. Because then the mother has not been able to separate it, and I, like I said, I don't want to go that route, but sometimes women need to let it go. Yes, you may have had a bad issue. You may have had a bad situation in your life, but everybody doesn't have that. Everybody doesn't have a full household, a mother and father in their household with the child. Everybody doesn't have a single parent household either. And just because it's a single parent, that does not necessarily mean that it's always the mother that's that single parent and the child lives with them. Because see, I've had that situation before. And I just believe that whoever is the better of the parents, doesn't matter if it's male or female, because what you're not going to do is allow the other parent to eliminate themselves from the life of that child anyway. You can make up for it to a certain extent, but you don't allow that other parent to move on and just say to themselves, well, I'm not going to be a part of that child's life. No, I don't care if it's a man or a female. And see, in my life, I've been able to pay attention. See, I'm an only child. So it's a lot of friends that I've had that have had two-parent households, and I've been able to see a lot. And the experiences that I've had in my life, I've been able to see a lot and recognize a lot. So what I've been able to do as an only child is you get a whole lot of time to think, because you're by yourself a lot. And you have to learn to love yourself. You have to learn to like yourself. You have to learn to be likable when you want to be likable. You have to learn how to have fun by yourself and not have a problem with it. You can be by yourself and just have the greatest time in the world and not have an issue with it. And what I've done over the years is I've been able to learn how fathers can act, and I learned how to be a father, what I want to, as far as being a father, and what I don't want as far as being a father. But you still will have arrows thrown at you. Just a couple of weeks I had somebody tell me that my entire life, my entire manhood is based on my children, my three sons, as if that's a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. That's just one of the aspects of my life, is to make sure, in particular in this world, in this world where our young men have gone astray because the households, because that's where it starts, in the household, be it a single parent household, whatever the case is, the cycle needs to be broken. And I just said that there was no way, no possible way that I would play a role in bringing children into this world and not do everything that I possibly could to make them grow into being what I consider as a man, and what they'll eventually consider as a man, not based on what I tell them, based on being prepared to go into the world. See, at 18 in my household, you have to go, because it can only be one sheriff in one household. And see, a man turns into a child at 18 years old. At 18 years old, that's when they have to be prepared, and that's what I feel like as though I've done. In 18 years, I felt as though I have prepared that child to be able to go into the world and to be a productive aspect or a productive part of the world, to be able to find a female to be with them after so many years, and they be able to act like a man as far as being secure, as far as being that safety valve, as far as being loving, as far as being all of the criteria that comes along with being a husband, a companion, a friend, all of the aspects that become as far as being a father. And you know why I did it? It's because, like I said, I wanted them to be productive, but I also wanted to say, I wanted to be that example. The best thing in the world is to have your child say, you know what? I have an example and a father. My father was my example. That's where I learned this from. And when you can't get that, that means it not only is it hurtful when the child doesn't say that, but it's hurtful because if you've done your best, you think you've done the best, maybe they didn't recognize it, whatever the case is. But to be able to be told, thanks, Dad, and that they recognize. Everybody, this is Thomas Amal. I had to come back and actually complete the video that I started earlier because I found out I had too much. I had all of the videos that I had done in the past year or 6 months or whatever still sitting on this, so I had to break it down, delete a lot of them. That's why my video stopped on the previous one. But I was making a point of how difficult it is when you're in a situation and your child does not acknowledge you as far as the things that you've put forth to try and help them. And it is very difficult and very hurtful. But with that, I think it's even more so hurtful if the other spouse or someone else doesn't understand. But you're not in this to get recognition. Let me make that very clear. You're in it because you are raising a child into adult. You want somebody to be very productive in the world. You want someone to represent your family and your name and honor and respect everything that you've given to them, as well as respect the family and so forth. So with that being said, I love the fact that I am a father. I love being a father. I love the idea of having men raised up and that I played a role in it. And it's not discounting anything that anyone else has done, because I've had a lot of help, and I think my sons will acknowledge that there's been so many people that have come around and that have helped them, family members, friends, whatever, to help them grow and be who they are. But I know that there was an integral role on my part as far as helping them, and they know it as well. So that's the fact of being being a father. So got 6 more years, and that last child will be out of the house, and then I get to live a life where I don't have children around all the time. And then we'll see how that goes when it comes to life. But with that, Thomas Amal, talk to you soon.